Hello, Ben. How are you doing? It's we, Paddy and Jud from across the shuck. And we've had a bit of a miscommunication tonight. I don't know what's gone wrong, but we'll sort that out afterwards. Ben, where he is at the minute, is in airport waiting to get back home. So he's got about 20 minutes before he has to go and get ready for his flight. So we just thought we'd bring him on now and we'll have 20 minutes. So if you've got any questions, don't be shy. Don't hold back. Just ask him what you like. And as you know, Ben answers everything. So, big fella, how are you? I'm sure you're exhausted.
I was really exhausted after Blade Show, but I've been in Pennsylvania since Thursday at the Great Eastern Cutlery Rendezvous, and I was able to relax
Of
and catch up on
course.
sleep, so I feel great.
Oh, good. I'm glad. And how was the rendezvous?
It's amazing. It's really awesome. It was relaxed, just hanging out with knife guys, getting to talk to Bill, getting to talk to Bill's son William, getting to talk to people who work
Yeah.
at the factory. Lots of cool knives for sale. It was awesome.
Yeah, I've seen the picture where you and Bill were sitting on the steps. That's a lovely picture.
I can't tell you how excited I was to get that picture. I was really jazzed.
Yeah,
But that is a lifetime picture. Do you know what I mean? That's one that you want to keep for the archives. That's a
but it is really, it's not just a case of meeting one of your knife heroes. It's a case of two producers get sort of meeting each other as equals and
yeah,
sort of
that's nice.
exchanging views. That's an amazing one.
Yeah, I would debate whether we're equals or not, but we definitely are both producers, and I definitely get some feedback from
If
him, and he
anybody's
really looks the things over. It's nice.
good, that's really good. For those in the talk box, the where Ben was the GEC rendezvous, which happens once a year for about 3 days. Ben, I think it is 2 days, three
2 days.
days,
2 days.
2 days. Where GEC nuts like myself just head there and they have a very chilled. They'll have a barbecue if the weather's good. It's a very chilled out couple of days. Somewhere that when the lottery comes to me, I'm going straight there. It's one of the places I would rather go there, I think, than Blades, Joe. To be honest, it's because it seems so nice.
Stephen, I think that would be a more your speed, honestly, because Blade
Yeah,
Show is just really intense, and
yeah,
it's not a relaxing environment. But the Great Eastern Cutlery is a relaxing, traditional knife environment, and not only that, but it's in some of the most beautiful country in the United States I've
yeah.
ever seen. Northwest
Right.
Pennsylvania is jaw-droppingly beautiful.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I used to watch Apostle P every year when he done his visits down there and put the videos up. And with Tony Bowes as well. He used to do the videos of Tony Bowes and some of his back catalogue. I would really encourage, if you're into traditional knives, to go back on Apostle P. He's some great videos up on Great Eastern Cutlery and Tony Bowes as well, which I just love watching his programs.
We do
Excellent.
have a question in the chat for you, Ben. Tito Bandito and a number of others would like to know, one, how many knives did you pick up there at the weekend, and two, which ones?
So I only bought one. I've got, as I tell people, I'm like drowning in knives these days, and so I'd rather just leave them for the guys who want them more than I do at this point. But I did get a really cool one. It's the Johnny on the Spot camp knife. So it's a number 35, but it was a
Oh, lovely.
special factory assembly, which means it's like a unique configuration that wasn't mass produced. So one of 15 pieces in smooth autumn bone. And so
Oh, beautiful.
it's got the spear blade on the 35, which is probably like one of the most attractive spear blades they do.
Yeah.
And it's got the old fashioned can opener, and then a bottle opener slash screwdriver slash hex bolt tool. Pretty cool. And I really like the shield with the lightning bolt.
Yeah, that's a 35 for anybody that's watching. That's a 35 pattern. That's a Mare and Grosh one now, but it is that pattern. Lovely bone on it.
For a cigar, kind of.
Yeah, it's a cigar. Yeah, or equal end, whatever you.
That's
Uh, so here, let us tell us all about the new knife. Where the idea for it came, how long it took you to make it, and how did it go down at Blade Show?
That's great. So I was inspired to start that project after Blade Show 2022. You know, you look around the show, and there's no denying that the knife market at large primarily buys modern folders. You know, I would venture to guess for every one slip joint that's purchased, there's probably 20 modern folders that's purchased across the industry. And of course, I'm a business person, and I'm interested in getting knives in as many people's hands as possible. And so I got really inspired at the Blade Show to tackle a big project because you kind of come home all juiced up. And I think the bolster lock is the best way to interpret a traditional knife in a modern style. And certainly Enrique Pena has done so, and his are really cool. And so I wanted to kind of follow his lead, but put a lot of thought into how I would differentiate my product from his and, you know, do what I thought was changes. I don't know if the word improvements is the best word, but changes that people would appreciate to the sort of form factor that he pioneered with his X series knives. And so specifically, like, I have a different thumb flipper tab. I have the jimping. You can middle finger flick or thumb roll mine. I have a pocket clip with a blind screw. I have the pocket clip plug, and I upsized my stuff where most case stuff is like 4 inches or smaller. I went to 4.12 in the handle and 3 1/4 on the blade. And then also my use of carbon fiber and bolster fluting and stuff that people are recognizing as a Jack Wolf, I think, at this point. So I started the project and had absolutely no idea about the geometry of that type of knife, how to design the lock face, the lock bar, the detent track, the stop pin track. And I have a buddy who I met kind of in this world. His name's Chris Ortiz with Cerberus Knives. He's in his mid-20s, and we just kind of hit it off. And he and I have been sort of scratching each other's backs. Like, I teach him stuff about how to organize and run his business, and he helps me with 3D rendering and design stuff. And so he really kind of got to school me.
That's the joy of this.
He really got
nice
to school
community, even for makers.
It's great, honestly. Like, you know, we both want to see each other succeed. We both have information that each other can benefit from. You know, you just want to see a guy do a good job, you know, and when you can find that spirit of cooperation with people, like, it just makes everybody better. So I owe him a tremendous amount and gratitude for the help in understanding how to design this style of knife, because if I was left to my own devices, it would not be in your hands right now. I can honestly say that. It would have taken a lot longer. And so I had a first version, got a prototype, needed a lot of changes. I originally I didn't have the chamfers where I had them. I didn't have the fluting. I was trying to go for a different look, but I realized, like, that stuff needs to be more like my slip joints, just little design things. You know, the mechanism was good. The D was a little weak in the beginning, so we improved that. But ultimately, it took 3 prototype variations to get that thing right. So it really was essentially a full year in development of that product before it came to market. And I knew, like, I really have to present what is ultimately the best I can do at my first shot at this knife, because the community at large has very high expectations for this type of product. You know,
well, the nice thing is, the community has high expectations of you.
Correct. I set a pretty high bar, I suppose, and I don't want to let anybody down. And certainly, if I'm going to put my hat in the ring on this type of product, like, I just don't want. I just owed it to not only myself but to you guys to do the best I could. And I honestly, when I got that last prototype and I had this thing in my hands, and I'm like hypercritical of everything I do, but I'm looking at this thing, I'm like, this thing is sweet. I'm like, I really like this. And I'm like, if I feel good about this, I think other people will too. Maybe not everybody loves the gut stock. Maybe not everybody loves the clip point, but there's no arguing that this is a well thought out and effective knife that's fun to play with and cuts like a laser.
Yeah. What was the reaction at Blade Show, just from your own perspective?
It exceeded. I didn't really know what my expectations were. I just wanted people to like it, but people loved it, man. I mean, I sold every one I brought with me, and the thing I knew when I knew I had something at least decent here on my hands was the guys that bought them on Friday. They were playing with them in the pit, which is the hotel lobby, Friday evening. You know, they're showing everybody what they bought. And then Saturday, people come running up to me to buy one because they saw someone had one in the pit on Friday and they wanted to have one. And I was like, dang, that's a really good sign, because they didn't listen to my pitch or hear me talk about it. They just saw it from someone in the crowd who they trust and was impressed. So I was like, that's cool.
That is. Can I get over an elephant in the room for me?
Sure.
The one thing that you said when we came on board with you, the one thing you didn't say was what we had to do in our reviews. You just wanted us to be honest. And I want everybody out there to know that, because although, you know, we've become friendly and we're friends, it's still your business. And I have a responsibility to give an honest opinion. And this one just didn't get me, Ben. Not all of it. I think the knife is fantastic. I think the clip is absolutely first class. I love the long pull. I love the blade. I love the handle that you've made it fatter and more. I'm just not a front flipper, and I can't put my mind to like this front flipper. I can't get it. I think I've done it 6 times in 3 days. And he walked in tonight and just flipped it about 10 times in a row.
I like
now,
it.
Stephen, can you put your thumb on the nail nick and just arc it open?
Oh, yeah, definitely you can do that. Yeah. Everything else I can do. It's just, do you know the way you get something in your head? Well, for me, it's just not sitting in my eye. And that's the only part about it, because the fit and finish is way above what other knives are, as always. I have no complaints on that. And I made a video and I tried to be as honest, but not, because I know there's an awful lot of people love this more than me. You know, there was a lot of people loved it. And this knife is good. It just doesn't fit my traditional eye. And I think that's what it is. It's more, to me in my head, it's more for those who like fidgeting thing, you know, playing about with it. I lift my knives up and open like this, Ben, most of the time, to be honest. I just literally, doesn't matter what, even my spider goes, I lift out half the time. I just do it like that. But I hope you didn't mind me being honest, because that's all it could be. I couldn't be dishonest to they're my subs, but they're your buyers. I just had to say how I felt about it.
Well, it's all I've ever asked of you is to be honest, and I wouldn't want you to do anything other than that. You know,
I said
that's
that
why people
video,
watch your channel. People watch your channel because you're honest and you kind of wear your heart on your sleeve with all your stuff. So,
yeah,
you know, I'm not gonna hurt my feelings, Stephen. I can't expect everybody to like every single thing all the time.
Yeah,
you know, you've been more than enthusiastic about nearly everything I've ever made. So, you know, I feel blessed. I feel blessed that you're the type of guy who really likes what I'm doing. You know.
Oh, and look, honestly, this is a great knife. It's just not for my silly old traditional. I have just changed completely this last couple of years, and
which is why I'm taking it off him, man. I'm taking it off him because I can work it. It's obviously a younger man's knife, Ben. I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. It was interesting at the Blade Show because basically, you know, part of the motivation for me to make that knife was you hear people say like, I really like what you're doing. I like the brand. I think everything you're up to is cool, but I'm just not a slip joint guy. In other words, AKA, doesn't matter what you charge. Like, I'm just not going to buy one of those. It's like, okay, challenge accepted, you know? And so how can I create a product that's got my brand identity, still has some traditional roots in its aesthetic, that's going to be attractive to this guy who's sitting on the sidelines rooting for me, but not buying my products, you know?
Yeah.
And so, and I can't tell you how many people at Blade Show came up to me and said exactly that thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I really like what you're doing. I'm just not a slip joint guy, but I can't wait to buy one of these. And it's like, yay, you know, because my goal is not about the sales. It's more like I want to put Jack Wolf knives in as many hands as possible.
Yeah.
because I feel like that's how I can spread some joy in this world.
But you've always said that right from the beginning. You want to make knives, and you want to get people who are not traditional people into this market where it's semi-traditional, and you've got our normal locking, or not locking, our normal slip joints, which are very modern and very modern blade steels and materials. So you've wanted to get everybody in rather than just one sector of the community, and you have to try everything. And I applaud you for the knife and what you've done. That's never been
Appreciate it.
That's never been a
And
thing.
these are all, it's like, I look at it as stepping stones, right? Like, so maybe we get the guy who buys this knife and is like, and then let's say I make more sharpshooters at some point here, and they're like, man, I just want the slip joint to match my locking knife. And then he gets the slip joint and he's like, oh my God, I can't believe how cool these things are. Like, I had no idea. I just never thought I'd be a slip joint guy.
Yeah.
You know, and before long, we see him at the GEC rendezvous because he just got to get a number 35 or whatever. So we'll get him.
That's sorry, go ahead.
No, but that's what I was going to say. I suppose it makes sense then that as of last year, you were starting to think about it. So it sort of begs the question then, Ben, are you, and I'm going to be the one to ask it, is this then a complete switch over to flippers and lockers, or are you, what's coming down the pipe, babe? What's coming down?
No, it's,
I'm pumping you information.
No, it's a fair question, and it's one that deserves an answer. So what I told myself was, if this is well received, then I will continue to generate locking knife models based on my slip joint designs. Like, I don't have them all teed up ready to go. This was like a grand experiment. So, you know, people got to be patient, but there will be more knives in this style. Now, not every slip joint is going to equate well necessarily to this exact form factor. So I'll have to it's like a case-by-case basis thing. I will promise everybody here right now, I am not abandoning slip joints. Like, that's never going to happen. You know, it's Jack Wolf knives, not Jack Wolf slip joints, but
you wouldn't believe how many people would be delighted to hear that, honestly.
Oh, yeah. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, as the guy in charge, I get to sort of drive things with my own preferences in mind, and I still will carry a slip joint every day, you know, first and foremost. So when I carry this locking knife, it's in addition to a slip joint. I can't put a slip joint away.
Yeah, I would love to see this modern. I love the fact that you're going modern with it. That's not a problem. I would love to have seen this with just washers in it, and just the long pull, and that would be it without the flipper. If you know what I mean. I just think keeping the clip and the long pull on that blade. You know, I think it was the washers. I'm thinking more. It's when you open it, it's so free because your ball bearings are amazing. I mean, it's just there's no feeling of anything. You don't feel them running across the metal. They are perfect. But yeah, I think you have to go. By the way, sorry, are we holding you?
About 5 minutes left. We're okay.
Okay,
no problem. Time. Okay, we've got a couple of questions here. We've got a couple of comments as well. Of course, Slip Joint Sawyer, the clue is in his name, is saying boo locking knives, yay slip joint. So I mean, you really have covered both sides of the market there.
And he has a Jack Wolf knife as well.
But the other one that we and I think this is another telling question, because what we did realize was the Framework knives over in the UK here weren't taking the Gunslinger because of customs and the legal implications and everything else like that. But Jason Glover sort of reflects one of the guys in the chat box reflects a lot of feeling, I would say, here. How do we get our hands on one of these in the UK?
It's in the video. It's European dealers or American, whichever way you want to go. If you've got somebody like in America.
Yeah, so I unfortunately haven't done the specific research for you guys on which dealers will ship to you. If you really want one of these in the UK, it wouldn't hurt to maybe reach out to some of these dealers and just know up front, so that you don't place an order and find out 3 days later that it got canceled. But here's the European dealers. There's Coutellerie in France.
I put a list of all the European dealers underneath the video as well, and I'll do it again on Thursday.
Yeah.
So don't worry. I'll do it on Thursday.
Just reach out in advance. You know, there might be U.S. dealers who will ship to you too, like maybe Arizona Custom Knives. I think they'll ship worldwide, but it's a pain in the ass. I know. I appreciate that. You know, you guys want one, even though they're not locally available. And listen, if you find out who will sell you one, and you want me to spread the word on my Instagram, I'm more than happy to do it.
I know traditional pocket knives posts to the UK. So, you know, I'll maybe actually give him a wee ring and just clarify that he did it, and I'll put that on the video on Thursday if he does.
That's Austin. Just ask him.
Yeah. I'll just give Austin a ring. I'll give him a ring tomorrow, and then I'll put it on the Thursday video that he will do it. There's one for a start off, but try others.
Ben, you're going to come up on time. Do you want to give just the usual for the international folk out there who are going to be lucky enough to get access to this? Do you want to give your usual sort of details about when it's released and everything?
Yeah, so June 16th, which is this coming Friday, these are going to become available. In the United States, that's 2 p.m. Eastern time, 11 a.m. Pacific time. I think that corresponds with 7:30 p.m. UK time, because Framar drops the same time as the US. Now, if you're interested in buying from the dealers in Germany and the Netherlands, they aren't pinned to a specific time because it becomes very hard to coordinate that with everybody's websites and whatnot. I think the Germans both get theirs up and running an hour before the UK, an hour or two before the UK. And I think with Knives and Tools, they put them up in the morning. So I wish I could be a little more specific, but that should at least get you in the ballpark.
Well, we're all knife buyers. We all know how difficult it is to give timings. There's no problem there. And if you want one, you can get one. Don't make an excuse you can't get one. There's somebody will send you one. You just might have to work a little bit harder, but it's always worth it.
Ben,
someone's willing to do the work if you're not. So
yeah, that's true. That is very true. Look, Ben, it's been an absolute. Look, we're concerned that you're going to miss a flight or something. So watch your own time and just be careful with that. Look, you're absolutely amazing to talk to you again, and we'll wish you every success with the new one. We'll be watching very carefully as well. So thanks again for joining the crew and talking to us.
Yeah,
I'm glad I was able to get with you guys today. I'm really happy because I thought we were going to miss each other, and that would have made me depressed. So here we are. It's a win.
Look, mate, you're a star. Thank you so much and on behalf of everybody in the talk box, good night, take care, safe flight. And for those in the talk box, we're going to keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to keep going now. Ben's gone. That was so nice of him to come in and do that tonight. There's not many would do that, is there? Like,
no,
not many would do that,
especially after the review that you gave him.
Well, I didn't give him a bad review. It was a nice review, but not for me.
No, it's not. It's not your kind of knife. Which is what the angle that I'm trying to get at, because
he just does that first go every time.
See,
I can't get it.
Honestly, we've had some classic comments in here already.
Go ahead, throw it.
And I mean, Slippy and Thrifty have got their next show already, because we've got that comment sitting around. That's a whole show in the making, right?
Your ball bearings, Thrifty. You're not getting rid of your wood one. It's still the best. Ball bearings not good enough. Yeah,
that's right. He's trying to slope it. Yeah, all very, very cunning. Good tactics there. Good tactics. Matt, eloquent as always. I mean, you know how to turn a phrase, but you need to work on the vocabulary. Absolutely brilliant. There's Byron in as well.
Hello, Byron.
Good to see you. Yeah, no, that work stuff. I'm looking forward to finishing.
For those that are in expecting to see Ben, he's just popped off. He was when we got our lines mixed up. Well, I didn't, but he did. So he was actually in the airport and done a half an hour for us in the airport, which was amazing. But he's just had to go and connect the flight home.
And of course, there's Randy being cheeky again. What do you mean you can't believe it, Randy? Crying out loud. If he missed a chat with Paddy's potato peelers, everybody is sad when they miss one of our lives. I mean, we have the comments to prove it. Most of which I wrote myself. But that's the kind of
is there anybody in the chat thinking of getting the new Jack Wolf knife? I'll just put it up there.
Well, Jason Glover has said that he would be very interested.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's so well made. It's just not for me. I can't do that other thing. But sometimes the middle flicky one, it's quite, you have to actually get pressure, and then I can't even do that properly. But I'm just a wee bit more of a traditional person. But it's fatter, it's longer. It's a really fantastic EDC blade, 3.1 inches. It's legal over here, but it is a fantastic knife. Really fantastic. It's just not for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And honestly, Justin walked into the room and I said, "Here, you better have a look at that before the show." And he just went, flick.
Oh, it didn't work. You put the boggle on me. There you go.
Yeah. He just found it incredibly easy. I can't do it at all.
Yay!
3 days, 6 times, I think I've done it.
But I agree with it. The Spidey flick, the middle flick
it's a weekly
difficult.
tent for it. Yeah.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But it's a lovely night. Actually, that's it, sort of side by side with the sharpshooter.
Yeah, get that.
So
that's it.
You get
no, that's it. That's good.
You get an idea of it is considerably bigger.
Yeah, it's much more got into a more modern size of a knife. It's probably, I would relate it to probably a Grandaddy Barlow. It's nearly that size. I have a Grandaddy Barlow here, haven't I?
There you go.
No,
and you can see the two of them. I agree with Stephen. The clip, the sort of the actual shape and form of it is exceptional. Fantastic. It really is.
And that clip is so good in your pocket. Now it's not completely deep, but it's about, there you are. It's about 5 mil.
Yeah. And it's just an interesting take. I mean, if nothing else, you got to take your hat off to him, his willingness to try something new.
And like I went to Blade Show, and everybody had them in hand. If you didn't hear they were down the pit playing with them at night time. And then the next day, the rest of the people come down and bought all his knives out. So I'm just one person, but I'm not going to lie on my video to you, because then you're not going to trust me, and I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, and I think, Mikey, you're absolutely right. Different strokes, different folks. Everybody's going to write has their own particular taste in terms of what works and what looks right and everything like that. So, I think, and that would get what fed the question I asked him about. Are you going all locks? And I think, honest to God, we're like kids, waiting for Christmas. And
you're frightened it's going to get cut off.
Thinking that we're going to get cut off from
You're
Santa.
not going to get the latest Superman model.
Yeah, exactly. So it is, but it is good to know that he's going to be sticking with his own particular.
He's always been a slip joint man. So yes, I think he'll throw in little things like this, maybe different locking mechanisms or opening mechanisms. But fair play to him, he's trying.
Yeah. And again, guys, it's such a pity that you missed Ben when he was on, because those are brilliant questions to ask. And what we'll do is we'll keep them. We'll sort of keep them and ask for next time when he's on. Because I mean, we'd like to know if any of the previous patterns are coming out as well, especially the little bro, which never really saw the.
Well, it is coming out. It's definitely coming out. It'll be out very shortly.
Yeah.
The little bro will be out shortly, as in the little bro, not flipper. It'll just be the little bro. I would say now, I'm not guessing, because we spoke to him over this last year. So I mean, ever since it went off, we've sort of kept at him. When's it coming? When's it coming? So he's always said that it's coming. And
Manuel, honestly, to be honest, given what Ben has said, it's really not in his best interest to go to back to the micarta again, which I agree is a pity. I have 2 of them in micarta, and I think they're fantastic.
Yeah, but they really weren't selling around the world. It wasn't just in one place. All the dealers were having the micarta left, and then when they stopped doing it, there was so many people come out of the woodwork and then wanted them. But it gave them a notice: if people are not going to buy this last lot, it's going to stop, and nobody bought them. And then the next week, they were up in arms.
Manuel, you, me, and maybe 2 or 3 others were the only ones that were taking the micarta. So I can understand why he does it. He did sort of discontinue.
But
he will ask.
He will. I know he will. I don't know when it'll be or how soon it's going to be, but he is going to be putting natural materials on them, i.e. wood and sort of maybe even G10. I don't know. He will be putting some sort of natural material. Why I said G10 was natural, I don't know. But wood, maybe bone. If he can get the right quantities and the right stuff, he will put them on the knives eventually. I would say wood's probably going to be one of the natural, because once you stabilize wood, it's not going to shrink you that much.
Yeah, so very, very true.
I would say that will be, the stabilized sort of wood.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting times ahead. So, and there's Shelzy, who's got another one. Who's another one. So it's me, Manuel, Shelzy, and Matt from Slipstream Story Art. So yeah, the Mike Harder ones.
Yeah, there's the little. I'm going to put the little bro up to give you a comparison in size of the little bro compared to it. Can you see that? So the little bro it's just a little bit bigger than a boy's knife from GEC. So it's a 4-finger grip. It's called the little bro, but it's got a 2.5-inch cutting blade. Lovely 4-finger grip, absolutely fantastic EDC knife. But going against that, it just looks so much bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Very true. Very true. So what have you lot been getting up to? Jack Wolf knives aside, what have you lot been getting up to?
Who's bought anything new I would like?
Yeah, and how can he get it off you is his next question.
I got a lovely knife today. I bought a lovely knife today from one of my subs. I'd seen that he had it up for sale in one of the UK chat rooms, and I went on to it. Chat rooms, that sounds yeah. Swipe left. No, that's right. That's why I got a man. Yeah.
Moving on swiftly.
Yes, sorry. What was I talking about?
Tom will be complaining about this not being family content.
What was I talking about?
A new knife. That
yes, a new knife. Sorry, yes, to get away from it. A really lovely fella. I'll make sure he doesn't mind me giving his name. I'll be doing a review when the knife comes. But he sold me a beautiful case copperhead.
Oh, that's right.
Non-locking copperhead in the most beautiful blue, two-tone blue color.
Caribbean bone.
Caribbean bone. And it's got the main blade. It's got the Warncliffe main blade and the small pen blade.
Yeah.
It looks good. And do you know what I sold it for? And this wasn't to me. He had it for this price on the site. Normally I'll barter on sites because I'm that kind of a guy, but £35 he wanted for it. It's never been used. The box is there. I just think there's some lovely people out there that, I wouldn't even barter for that.
See this face? This face is the face of a man who saw it and thought twice. Because if I had just thought 35 quid, that's a keeper, and just bought it, I would have beat him to the punch, and he would have been absolutely
like you did the week before. So
exactly.
this is payback.
This is payback. Well,
but I mean, that's just lovely, and it's really nice that he watches the show as well. There's so much more meaning when you get somebody who's a subscriber. To me, anyway, makes me feel good.
I think he knows as well that it's going to a good home. If nothing else, now it's going to a better home.
And he said he's hoping to see a video of it. He'll definitely see a video of it.
Yeah. And again, Slippy's getting
what's
content together. He's getting content together.
I was on one of them
chat rooms. Paddy 2022. Just make a book of quotes.
This is not fun. I'm an adult with brain cells missing.
Okay, so Mikey, we've got some feed in here. Mikey just got a new buck 10 with Mike Carter and the S30V. That's the one that you're talking about.
No, I actually want the 112, the Sport.
That's right.
It's got Mike Carter a lot lighter, and it's got S35 or S30V, one of the two of them. Yeah,
fantastic.
So, it's one that's coming. It's on the long finger.
Yeah, I got my first buck 10 off down at Blade Bridge there a couple of weeks ago, and I swear to God, I have to use both hands to lift it. And it's about the same size as me. It's
St. Arthur's sword. King Arthur.
It feels like you're pulling Excalibur from the stone. It's enormous. But I had to have one. I just had to have one. Yeah. Fantastic knives.
I mean, it took me 6 years to get one, and then when I got one, I realized everybody should get to see what our forefathers used.
Absolutely.
And it's if you're a working man, that is some beautiful knife.
But that's the funny thing.
It really is.
My father-in-law, I showed it to my father-in-law because I got him a little Muela wooden handle brass bolstered one about 20 years ago from Spain when I came home and married his daughter. And he carried it every day.
That's what you gave him? Not even a sheep?
Yeah. I carried his daughter. No camels were exchanged. Gave him this wee knife, but it's even smaller than the buck 55. So we put them all together on the table, the 110, the 55 that I have, and then the little Muela, which is just a shade smaller, little pocket dropper, beautiful little knife, same design. But he picked up the 110, and it's exactly as you said. I mean, he's 85, and he just picked up the knife and went, yeah, that's my kind of knife, And I just thought, yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it is. I think the 112, I fancy the Sport one because it's lighter. Not that I can't use a brass one. I just don't like them. They're too heavy. But I really do fancy that sport one with a a good blade steel.
Well,
Not that, I mean, their steel is boss heat treated and it outplays anything else of that sort of range.
I mean, you can't go wrong with it, really. And I mean, apart from anything else, it'll get Tom from Knife Delights off your back for not having enough bucks.
Just by the way, the video of this resharpening of my new Spanish Navaja should have been up today. Didn't get there. The reason why is when I opened the knife and checked it properly, it was completely blunt and there was no edge on it. It was completely rounded over. And I was going to do the video and I said, no, this little thing is not for reprofiling. It's for, putting an edge back on a knife if you're out and your knife goes dull. So I had to put an edge on it. But what I'll do before I start, it'll get across the diamonds before I start to sharpen it. So that'll be up tomorrow. I'll be doing it tomorrow afternoon. So sometime late in the afternoon, it'll be up.
Brilliant. Now I'm gonna throw the cat amongst the pigeons here.
Okay.
Because it's all kicking off in the chat.
Is it?
It's that thrifty Kniffy boy again. Johnny, look, he's saying that these knives are spoilt by modern lightweight materials. A buck with micarta and S30V apparently is heresy. That's what I'm reading into this. I could be completely wrong. Oh no, I'm not wrong. Oh, no. Here we go. Yeah, a brass 110 too heavy. You're a wimp.
But it's not that it's.
No, I'm not a wimp. I'm a hobbit. I'm just very small.
I love this show.
And Slippy's doing the same thing, but give me a brass one any day over modern materials.
Yeah, but Slippy went out and bought a lovely wee small micarta one.
He did.
Why didn't he buy a big buck 110? He's got a buck 110. Why didn't he buy a big other buck?
He's got the 112 as well.
Has he? Yeah. No, I fancy the micarta. I've had a buck 110. It's just a big lump of brass.
And then Bama blades, brass and ebony. There is no other 110. I think you'll find that there are, but you may not like them. Yeah. You see. Thank you very much. Welcome to the ST show, Hobbit. Oh, I'm going to be well and truly. But no, honestly, you check it out. I'm in the background of Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings several times. I mean, they didn't even have to reduce me in size. So
or use makeup.
Or excuse me, my feet aren't that hairy. No. Oh, Slippy saying he's got them all. Of course you do, Matt. Of course you do. He's just showing off again. Anywho, oh yes, from my perspective, and Matt, actually, I wanted to ask you and anybody else in the chat who is like myself, a mad sack man. So this Git sent me a picture today. I've got it on my phone. Maybe you can get it up, okay? Sent me a picture of a knife that I hadn't actually seen because I wasn't paying it. Obviously, haven't been paying attention, and it's the Fox Knives Vulpes. Haven't come across this before, so I don't honestly know how new it is or anything. But I mean, effectively, it's a Swiss Army knife type. But it's a 74 millimeter, so effectively the same size as an executive or an ambassador. 4 layers and 4 layers at max, and it's got a main blade. It comes with a saw sometimes, different configurations depending on the tools. But it's got bottle openers, screwdrivers, scissors, and the scissors are Victorinox style with the leaf spring, and it's very, very. It looks very, very cool. Aluminium handles or carbon fiber.
Yeah.
And here's the kicker. The basic one comes in M690. The non-basic one with carbon fiber scales comes in M390. It's a Swiss Army knife, an M390. What the hell? Where the hell did that come from?
But that other company made them last year. But it was only the blade that was, in that the blade steel. But it was another company last year that done it. They done Heine had them last year, and maybe the year before, maybe it's 2 years ago they came out with it, and it was M390
as well.
But it didn't seem to sell as well. I think that one's more.
Well, apart from anything else, the price on it is unbelievable.
That's
it's under £70.
N690 plus all the tools.
Yeah, absolutely.
Couldn't beat it.
And it's that size because I mean, executive is one of my favorite knives, and just in the terms of the size, you do have one there.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's one of my favorite as well. It's always at the front.
It's bizarrely, I'm not carrying it today. So the executive is that sort of. It's basically finger length. That's 74 mil, and you're getting a 4-layer knife, and that's so it's a 50.
That's a lot bigger. He's a hobbit.
Tom will be complaining about family-friendly material now, but so I'm really interested. If anybody's actually had one in hand, let me know. Matty, I don't know if you've actually seen them yet, but I'd never seen them before, and I'm very tempted. But as I was saying, Stephen, it does feel like I'm being unfaithful to the other wife. You know, even looking at another knife, it just feels kind of unfaithful.
But it's that size. I knew as soon as I seen the size, that was your knife all over it. It was your knife. I mean, I love that, and I don't love it enough to have two of them. But well, I might, because that blade steel's quite good, actually. You know,
Yeah.
N690 for a little sack knife.
I know.
That's fantastic, and it's easy stropped. You only have to strop it, and it'll come back.
Like lightning. And the colors on it are quite nice as well.
Yeah, I like the blue. Yeah.
You like the blue. I like the orange.
Right.
And it's it must be the closet Northern Irisher in me or something like that. Who knows?
Yeah. My face is my flash. Or I don't know.
What the hell?
Move along.
What?
I thought of something, but it didn't come out my mouth the same as I thought of it.
Okay, we've got another kind of little disconnect here. While I reboot Paddy, any questions coming through? Thrifty's got one. What's your feelings on the Explorer? Jud, have one arriving today. You cannot go wrong with the Explorer.
No, it's a fantastic knife.
It's a brilliant knife. It's not my favorite, but it's
Explorer.
Yeah, it is, and that's your Explorer. 4 layers. 4 layers is about as much as you can go in your pocket without starting to get. But the real killer.
That wee clip is just fantastic. See the wee clip? Put that in your pocket, and it takes all the feeling of weight of that knife out of the way.
But for those who don't know, the real conquering tool of the Explorer is the inline Phillips. It's just a fabulous.
But the other thing is the magnifying glass. I have used that so many times because I've bad eyesight. I know Thrifty's eyesight's bad. That wee magnifying glass is fun. See, if I'm out shopping, sometimes I can't see what it says in the backs of tins and that. I get that out, and it just illuminates it for me. So I think that would be a perfect one for you, Thrifty.
I just got one recently, actually, again from Dan in translucent green. And it just looks gorgeous. It really does.
Just to prove I like it, Justin made me this one. And one of the things that I got him to put on it was a magnifying glass. This is my most carried one. This is just a 2-layer. But Justin I've got the inline screwdriver on it and 2 little blades. And that's what I wanted on this knife because that's what I use the most. So again, I dangle them in my pocket because it takes all the weight off them.
Absolutely. So I can't recommend it highly enough. I think it's one of the classic sacks, and it's one you'll get an awful lot of mileage out of, John. So I mean, it'll be health to enjoy, and honestly.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, I think you'll love it. And let us know how that wee magnifying you get on with the magnifying glass. To me, it's just absolutely so useful.
Yeah,
so useful.
But yeah, and just let us know if anybody decides to pull the trigger on the Vulpus before I do, because I'm fascinated by it now. He's like,
sorry, they buy it tomorrow.
I have to wait till the end of the month.
Father's Day, get somebody to buy it for you.
That's
Genius.
Oh,
Father's Day.
Sometimes he gives with both hands. No,
you better get it tomorrow, though, because I would say they're going to go really fast.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Just get your son by the neck tonight. This is what I want for my Father's Day.
Yeah. Actually, that's a very good idea.
Can you grind a
Hang on a second.
43-year-old?
It's your children that have to buy you presents?
Yeah.
I never realised that. It's always my wife.
Well, tell your wife that the children told her.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds like a fair plan. Both of the wee beggars work now, so they've got plenty of money.
That's
they can spoil me.
They could even put an order in for the S30V. Is S30V one that's coming? M390. Yeah, they put an order in for that as well. Just get you credit for that and buy the other one. Yeah. So
have 2. Anyway, I'm trying to cut down.
Yeah.
So, what else?
What else have I got this week? I've done a trade with Justin, and I got a Spyderco
Sage 5.
Sage 5. I've never had a Sage, which is really nice to have. a Sage 5 in Maximate.
Well remembered.
Hey!
See, that reboot really did the job.
the Magna Cut I've just got used to saying because I called it this every time. So this is in Maximate, and I can't wait to blunt it. I'm cutting it. I'm just going to blunt it on diamonds and just reprofile it. I'll take it down to about a 15-degree edge just to see what it's like to sharpen, because an awful lot of people say it's really hard to sharpen. Well, I'd like to find out. So I'll come back and tell you what it was like. I'm not making a video of sharpening it because if it goes on for an hour and a half, there's no way I'm going to sit doing that in a video.
Well, not Maximum. Good God,
I'll sharpen it and let you know what it's like.
One of the things, the guy who sold me that originally was saying that the thing with Maximum is that it's designed to be really toothy edge. So it's not one of those.
It's a sort of knife I'll probably take to about 600, maybe at the most 800, because I don't do a lot of toothy work. But it'll be 600 or 800. I'll take it to probably, but I wouldn't go any more than that. Definitely. And I'm teaching my granny to suck eggs here, but no,
it's not stainless, so it will.
Oh yeah. It takes it a while, but it greys rather than goes. Yeah, sort of. But that doesn't bother me. I don't clean my knives anyway.
Okie dokie, we've got 192168, and here's a question for you. I've been following for over 5 years.
Wow.
If you've been following for over 5 years, you'll know by now what his main EDC is. It's not his memory.
Well, my EDC,
good question.
My main EDC changes regularly, but the in vogue sort of knife. What am I carrying the most this weather?
Well,
it's funny. Well, look, here's what I've got today. In the house, I usually have a locking knife, a lot of the times, and then I'll always carry a little pen knife with me. 99% of the time, I'll have two knives in my pocket because I'm very weird, even in the house. Do you know what I mean? But I've been really enjoying my GECs again, but again, sort of around the house, it'll be the number 71 I'm carrying. I've got rid of that and just got it again a few weeks ago, and I'm back to loving it again.
Oh, the 71 is fantastic.
Yeah, and I've also got the big 73 in the Frontier Bone. I love this knife. This is just a beautiful big, because that's around the house. I'm going to get a stack of boxes. That's, I'd rather take that. But I've been carrying a lot more in the GECs recently than I've got sort of off the patch. This one is a strange one. I got this as a gift from a subscriber, and I even when I look at it now, I think that cannot be comfortable. And yet, I mean, much like Spyderco knives are not made for prettiness, this in the hand is so comfortable. I don't know if anybody's ever tried one and been shocked at just how. Have you handled that?
Yeah, your little pterodactyl.
Yeah, the little pterodactyl. So yeah, 15, I do mix it up.
50's going to take that one now. Yes, I've handled your little pterodactyl.
You're doing the work for them.
I mean, I may as well just do their show for them, for crying out loud. Just warning everybody.
Yeah, my it changes so often. If I've got a knife in that I'm like, tomorrow I'll get a new. I have a GEC coming this week too. It is gorgeous. I've got a GEC coming in this week in bone, in giraffe bone. I don't even know what color it is yet. It was we bought a whole stack of them. It was a club knife, and we bought all the different bone colors, and you just get whichever you get in the tube.
Oh, is that the 56 or the?
Yeah, 56, the dogleg Jack, with the easy open. So yeah, I do change an awful lot. I mean, some days I can have 4 different knives in my pocket, just because I mean, that's a joy of being a knife person. If you're in the house, and I spend quite a lot of time at home, because unless I've got a lead, my wife doesn't let me out. So yeah,
she lets you out
sometimes.
Oh, there you go.
Not usually on my own.
It's only when you break free. It's only.
But yeah, I do change a lot. Or would you be one that keeps just one knife and uses it for a whole week? Just throw that question back at that young fella. 5 years. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Happy you're still right.
Glad to see you back. Glad to see you back. But just be warned that it's as crazy as it's ever been. So welcome back, brother. Welcome back.
You're very welcome. I'm not sure what your name is, but you're very, very welcome. Everybody's welcome. This is you have a thought of what your own channel is. It's just a friendly channel. It really is just a friendly channel. If you don't like something, say it, but don't be rude.
Yeah,
and that's the only law. After that, I stopped listening to you.
Yeah. Oh, I've been considering a Benchmade Mini Osborne, but I just don't know if I can justify the cost. Are you saying
Dun,
that the
dun.
945 Sussex? I honestly can't recommend it highly enough. It's a lovely little knife, but I know what you mean about the cost. Benchmade, you're always paying, what do they call it? The Benchmade
It's
tax?
Benchmade tax because they'll repair them for life. You know, if something goes wrong, they'll repair them. You need a new blade, they'll put a new blade in for buttons. I think it's a tenner.
So you're getting
you get your money, but when you're having a hand over that money, you're not thinking too far ahead.
It's still like having blood removed forcibly from
go for the second-hand market. He did.
Honestly, at Sussex, yes. And sometimes every now and again you see the minis or even the 940s coming up at very decent prices, 50 quid or 60 quid.
Yeah, I bought mine second-hand, and then we traded.
Yeah.
Because I've got the 940, but I wanted to try the wee 945. It's a perfect pen knife.
I love it.
Pen knife size. It's perfect. I love it.
And the funny thing is, I took the clip off it. And I know, I think you had as well originally. I took the clip off it, and it just drops in your pocket, and sometimes even in your fifth pocket. It's just lovely. It really is a beautiful wee knife.
Yeah, I would highly recommend it. I mean, I love my 940, and this was my real knife, so I'm always going to keep this. Yeah. But the 945 was sort of surplus because they're exactly the same, only it's smaller, but it's also thinner. It's a better cutter than the 940, a better slicer, I should say,
because it's just that wee bit thinner.
Yeah.
And the other thing about it is, it's a Benchmade.
Yeah.
And if you collect knives, I think, well, I always hate to say you have to have.
Yeah.
But it is nice to get something.
But much like a buck.
Like that.
Much like a buck.
There are certain brands that are
Benchmade, Spyderco.
It's nice to have
GT.
Crispy, I'm honestly not sure if that's a good thing or not. honestly not sure. Are you off your meds again? I'm just asking.
Crispy Critter is a gag. Right, let's show him something nice. Will we show him something nice?
Let's show them something nice.
We done a trade again today.
You did? Oh, yes. So I've got my fourth Jack Wolf. And because, again, like the Gunslinger, the Feel Good Jack wasn't really Paddy's cup of tea. Because he's got big plates of meat. Basically, his hands are just
not that big.
They're monstrous. But this, well, it's a perfect hobbit knife, really. But it's
a spear or something.
But I mean, how could you say no? I mean, and it was the Spyderco was something that I've got enough Spydercos, I think, and this was will pair beautifully with my Midnight Jack because it's the same sort of shape blade but slimmer. And as a pocket, as a gentleman's folder, it's really kind of lovely.
It is nice.
So I'm well pleased. He's pleased. I'm pleased. Everybody's pleased.
Share it between each other. And this is like another great thing. If you've got something to sell, check one of your friends that you know would like that sort of knife and say, "Would you like to buy this?" I mean, you don't have to sell it to them cheaper, but I just sell at a good price. Don't make a killing, and just that's a brilliant way of building up your collection and not having to pay full market prices. I wouldn't even mind doing there's a thought we could actually do that. I think now listen to this carefully now. Pay attention,
Lord.
Sit forward, get your seat.
Paddy's had an idea.
What about maybe, I don't know, once every 3 months, we'll see how it goes, but why don't we do something like Love Them Knives? Why don't we have a trade night where we'll have a 2-hour session?
Sort of marketplace?
And where you come on and trade your knives in the comments, and we'll sort of help you sort of discuss. You can ask what price you think it should be, but we can have like a trade. There's nobody has to buy anything, but it would be nice to come on and have a trade night.
Open up some
and in fact, if everybody brought one knife that they maybe weren't using in the section, if everybody brought one knife, including you and me, we can try and trade with you as well.
Absolutely.
I think that would, anybody interested in that, please let us know. Well, especially after this video is uploaded, put it in the comments down below now, because these will disappear and I won't get them again. So if you do, when the video is uploaded after this, if you fancy that idea, put it in the comments once the video is uploaded.
Yeah, and I mean,
that is a good idea, isn't it?
It is a good idea,
like
but
that.
I think that Slippy might have been there first, but I think it's a different kind of idea. And man, I'd be interested to see how successful it is.
I have a sale for oh, sorry, Slippy. No, Wouldn't do it. No, I'm not going to go over the top off
Oh
him.
no, it's not. It's not. I don't think it's going over the top. But,
Uh-huh.
but let us know if it is.
Yeah,
But even if we were doing it as a one-off every few months or something,
it would be once
it-
every 3 months or so. I wouldn't want
just
to do that.
Just as a way of getting people together and exchanging some ideas.
In fact, why don't you run it if you want to come on with us live, and we'll run it through your sanitarium.
Yeah,
That's a great way of getting
great
somebody else on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be even better.
There we go. We can wank it.
We'll talk anyway. We'll talk anyway. I wouldn't
Definitely.
want to step on your toes at all.
I hate to get in the way of a good idea.
All right.
Who was that? Sussex? No.
What was that?
I'd love to. I'd love to sell you something Sussex, but not my 945. No,
Yeah.
it's the only Benchmade I'm probably ever likely to have. See, the other thing about having one Benchmade that you get at a really good price is that you never have to buy another one because you've scratched that itch.
Yeah, Benchmade are getting really silly.
Yeah.
I mean, the Benchmade bug out is £170 or something. It's flipping stupid.
I know.
Stupid price.
But there are some stupid price points out there. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going to be a bad boy this week. I know I am. There's going to be a bad video that's going to upset people, but I don't care.
Oh no! What's he done now? Anyway, we've got Slippy's.
Yes.
We've got Slippy's blessing to go ahead with that.
But I would
think
love him
somebody
to
else-
join in if he would like to
Absolutely.
join in and get his crowd in. That would be lovely.
That'd be great. Absolutely great crack.
Well, we'll talk to him if we have to.
Well, no, we can mute him, but he can sort of be there in the background.
Yeah,
He does a really good job of handling the chat.
he could be the Mimo of our chat, couldn't he?
What's a memo?
Well, Mimo's always in the chat doing he does all Mimo.
Right.
No, right.
No, is he on RJ's?
He's on a lot of channels.
Oh,
He's
right.
just, and he does the background and takes people off if they're bad.
You see,
But we can have
he's a
slip
good guy.
joints, because we really don't want to. He's a bit of an eye candy because he's younger. You know, he can be a bit of eye
With
candy.
that beard?
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Yeah, he's a bit of rough, but he's there.
he's a bit rough. That's harsh. Mind you, I think I was going down the same route myself. Anywho, before we go mad,
You see, I joined that slip joint sanitarium thing. I would need to be in a sanitarium. I don't know how you get from things to things in it.
yeah, Mikey's in the same thing. Mikey, ask your kids. If you don't have kids, you're lost. I know of Discord, but because my boys use it all the time, but they could probably guide you through it a lot better. Alternatively, ask Slipjoint. He can guide you in terms of. See, these young folk know better more than we do about these
fangled stuff.
That's the word. Newfangled stuff. Okay, there you go. It's a chat room, Mikey, and we're right back to where he started off. Okay, chat rooms.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. If only you would, Slippy. If only you would. Or if at least him. Anywho, we're coming up on 60 minutes, so we're going to wrap it up in a wee bit. Anything else to add?
No, I've got quite a lot coming up. I know I've been doing a lot of videos recently, but to be honest, this is going to come as a bit of a shock. To be honest with you, for me, each day it gives me that purpose to do one thing for that day.
Yeah.
And I sort of need it at the minute. So,
Keep him busy.
Yeah, it's giving me that one wee thing at least. If I get up and do that, I know I've done something. So I'm enjoying them. If you're not, just switch off because I'm not stopping.
And as he says, he's going to be having
tomorrow I'm doing the sharpening. Full live sharpening, which was overwhelmingly voted for, which shocked me but pleased me.
I don't know about you guys, but
it'll only take, I would say, half an hour to 3/4 of an hour, depending on how long I talk.
And he will talk endlessly.
Yes, they're all absolute stars. Thank you for coming in. Sorry Ben wasn't on for as long as he was supposed to be, but we'll get him in next month again, and we can brainstorm him then. Don't worry about that. And if you remember the question you had for tonight, put it up next month.
Absolutely. Bama Blades, if this is your first time, welcome.
Very
and we
welcome.
hope to see you again in the future. Thanks for contributing to the chat and everything
Yeah.
else. Mikey, if we can get to the Sharp Show, if we have to move heaven and earth, we will get to the Sharp Show this year.
That would be a dream.
That's definitely something that we're going to be working on. So I'll let Matt have the last word because I think that's a beautiful way to end it. So
Yeah.
all the best, guys.
Thank you
okay?
so much, boys. Great. We enjoyed it.